Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Hood Rich, where we work together, have these conversations that's gonna help us go from zero to hero, right? Um, it's a beautiful day outside. First off, start off with that. But what I want to talk to y'all about, I guess today, is the fact that if you come from humble beginnings, and that's who I'm targeting. I'm targeting the people that's not just come from humble beginnings, right? But for those who are currently experiencing humble beginnings. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of us are still in the situation where we really got to make choices between food and or light bills. So I'm really speaking to those people who are kind of struggling, who are a little broke, right? I want you to go from being broke to being paid. It's nothing like being able to go to the store when you need something or want something and then being able to get it. You know what I'm talking about? Without having to worry about the fact that this gallon of milk gonna break your bank. It's certain things we can do to make sure we got money. Now, what I wanted to tell y'all, in order to go from zero to hero, from broke to paid, um, from barely making it to hood rich, you do have to have income, right? You are going to have income. And that can come in many different shapes, forms, and sizes. You feel me? But you do got to have money coming in order to see your money double, quadruple, or grow. Okay? And so with that, you got to get a job, my boy. Oh, my girl. You got to get a job. No, but you can have really many different sources of income, right? You can have a job, Social Security, disability checks, and things of that nature. You can have side hustles, right? I don't want y'all to be in nothing illegal that can dampen your ability to grow, to prosper, to put yourself in a position for the betterment of yourself and your family. Um, but in the real world, you do gotta do what you gotta do, because by any means necessary, don't starve, right? And that's not obviously um, no harm. As long as what you doing ain't harming nobody, look, get busy, sell water bottles on the street, panhandle if you need to, but you gotta have money coming in order to grow your money, in order to double, quadruple, triple, whatever, or see 10 times the amount of money you want to see. You got to bring some money in, so you got to get a job, got to have some income, got to have some kind of flow coming in. That's number one. Right off the bat, you got to have money coming in, okay? The whole purpose of this conversation, dialogue, is to help those who could benefit from the help to become hood rich. Right now, you know, so I told y'all I come from home beginnings. Right now, I'm coming to y'all right now, actually filming this um, episode from my Fisker Ocean, right? So, decent vehicle, you know. They don't make them anymore. Decent vehicle. I hit you with the one time, right? You hit a little doom. You feeling, you feeling yourself. Let boom. Let some air in the vehicle. Let the sun in. Get a breeze, right? Hit you with the one time. It's cool. All the windows, even that window right there, came down. That's not the back window. That's that little bitty old. If you know the name of that little bitty window in the back, the cars be having, let me know. That window even letting down, right? From home beginnings to a Fisker Ocean. Now, what I remember, I'm not super balling. I'm in a place of sustainability, comfortability, right? But I'm not on nowhere near, right? A millionaire. You know what I'm talking about? But I am hood rich, which means obviously my favorite store is Five Below. I can ball out at Five Below any day of the week. Dollar store, give me a dollar store. I can ball out at the dollar store any day of the week. And I want y'all to adapt that mentality too, right? I'm really a cheapskate for the most part, but for lack of a better wording, it will call it frugal. I'm frugal. So you got to know. So first off, you need a job. Number one, a lot of people say you got to increase your income. I'm saying step one, get some income. Because often I say it's not about how much you make. It's about what you do with how much you make. And we're going to dive into that in a later episode. But I'm going to say that again. It's not about how much you make. It's about what you do with how much you make. So we grew up going to the Goodwill. We grew up with humble beginnings. So with that, you know how to operate on a budget. You don't you might not realize it, but you know how to operate on a budget. You know how to thrift shop because get things on sale. These things will help you have more money in your pocket that you can see later and be able to use because you need your money. You got to use money to help grow your money. And I ain't even diving into investments or anything like that. But to double your money, you first need money. Your money. You got to be able to get some money, form some income coming in. Then you got to rely on the fact that, wait a minute, you got to use your brain, right? I know how to thrift shop. Been doing it forever. I know how to go without. Been doing it forever. I know a lot of times because we in a society now where it's like instant gratification. I need it. I got it. I see it. I'm a consumer. I want to buy. That's all programming. We're going to dive into that in a later episode about how we're programmed to be consumers and spend, buy, right? You got to know how to sit down. You got to be able to sit down, sit on your hands. TV, if you got it, was a great invention. Sit on your hands, watch some TV, go for a walk. Dive in with a little nature. Stop going to that store. Stop spending your money. You know you ain't got it. We got a lot to talk about, fam. But rock with me. Pause. At this point, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment, whatever you want to comment about humble beginnings, thrifting, being on a budget, and learn how to go without. Sometimes that belly get to rumbling. Look. Sometimes you might have to look. If I break it down, and once we go all the way in, I'll give you a lot of different examples of, like, one for example, if you really broke, you got to know how to cut back on expenses, right? You got to be able to separate wants from your needs, and we're going to dive into that later down the line. But let's just take grocery shopping for a minute. You can't eat if you can't eat everything they eating on TV. You can't eat everything they eating at your auntie house. You can't eat because that stuff costs money. If you don't got the money, look, you got to have a conversation with your tummy. You know what I'm talking about? Ramen noodles ain't healthy at all, but they'll fill the belly up, and they only cost like what? 25 cents a pack? If I'm broke and I ain't got no money, ramen noodles, but what's that? Say they cost, 25 cents a pack, you buy 10 of them, that's $2.50. You need 30 to have one per day. $2.50, that's $7.50. Right? I think about $7.50, $2.50 get you 10. Then $7.50 will get you 30. You know what I'm talking about? Go spend yourself $30 on some ramen noodles. And if you really know and you're from the trenches and you know what's up, you can make a meal out of some ramen noodles, right? With that being said, learn how to cook a little bit. Get meals that stretch so you ain't at that store, because that store rob you. That store how you broke as a joke, right? You try and stop buying stuff that's like chips and things. Them things is, right? You can cut. It's a lot of ways you can cut back. So what I'm saying, the point of that is, examine your grocery budget. Think about ways you can cut back. Remember your humble beginnings. Like I told y'all, we grew up on syrup sandwiches, right? So if you've already been able to do that, get back to that. Because as you get older, you realize, dang, this adulting. I was talking to my nephew, and he was saying, oh, this adulting is kind of challenging. Well, it's not fun. Who really likes it? All right, well, look. When you adulting, you got to make some hard choices. One of them can be cutting back on your grocery bill just so you have a little more money. And I ain't even saying do nothing with the money yet. You got more money. If you know you cut back, you got more money. Go with, what I'm saying is, go with some cheap options. Thrift shop even for the food, right? Don't have luxurious meals every day. Now, if you know how to cook, which you should, or learn, great skill to help you save money and have extra money in your pocket. If you know how to cook, you can make a meal that'll last you 3 days. Comment in below about a meal that you make, and you can just type the name of the meal. What is it? You know what I'm saying? Beef stew or whatever. Spaghetti, right? Throwing out you a couple at you that, what's a meal you can make that you know can last you about 3 days? Shoot. If you're broke, make that again and again and again. That's what you're eating this month, every day, right? So we're gonna talk. I just want to come to y'all real quick from the ocean. You know what I'm saying? From the ocean. I'm in the ocean right now. That Fisker Ocean, right? Just wanted to come to y'all real quick for a quick drop. We're gonna dive in. I want y'all to become hood rich. All you got to do, I'm gonna be talking. I'm gonna drop nuggets. I'm going to drop jewels on you. You take them. You apply them. All right? In this video, I say the good takeaway is just first off, right, thinking about wants and needs. I ain't even gotten to it yet. Put that on your mind, wants and needs. Let your mind marinate with that. Wants versus needs. Put it on your mind, you come from humble beginnings, which means you already know how to budget, because we're going to dive into being on a budget, or how to budget, creating a budget. And a lot of people get scared when they hear that big B, budget. A lot of us get scared, right? Don't be scared, because in your tool belt, you've already mastered being a budgeter. You've already mastered thrifting. So on your brain, you thinking, it's all you think. You ain't even got, don't go deep. You ain't got to go so far. In case you never even heard of the concept of separating wants versus needs, you have now. If you never heard of the concept of budget, you have now. Because maybe you ain't know you was on a budget when you was thrifting, right? Or coming from humble beginnings. You on a hell of a budget. You mastered the craziest, the most extreme budget, right? So, budget. Wants versus needs, right? Thrifting. These just good terms to be just thinking about. That you master thrifting. You master going without. If you come from humble beginnings, you got the complete recipe off jump to become hood rich. How I know, right? Come on now. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. I say in the next video, we'll deep dive on separating wants versus needs. Talk to y'all later. Peace.